Welcome to today's webinar on cash flow modeling for business owners in the U.S. I'm glad you're here. My name is Jamie Phelps, and I'm the Client Success Lead at Voyant for North America. Today, we're going to walk through the basics of incorporating a business into a client's financial plan. We'll use a simple couple, Lily and Curtis Edwards, and I'll guide you step by step through creating a company, adding assets and income that the business owns, modeling dividends, selling the business, and handling the cash flow results in the client's personal plan. And let's get started. To start, I'm going to show you just really quickly our couple, Lily and Curtis Edwards. Lily has a business, and I'm going to go ahead and start by creating that company and the software. To do so, I'm going to go to my plus button in the bottom right-hand corner and navigate over here to the company tile. If in your version of Voyant you do not see the company tile, you can reach out to me at support@planwithvoyant.com and I can turn that on for you at no additional cost. So I'm going to click on this and go to company, and Lily has an LLC as a partnership. You'll notice several other options. These are all hard-coded with the correct tax treatment depending on the type of company that you select. So I'm going to enter in the name of Lily's company, and then under company ownership, Lily owns 50% of this company, and 50% is owned by a partner who is outside of this plan. Now I'm going to click done to save this company. And you'll notice now that I have saved the company, we now have a company section on our dashboard. If I click on that, I can open it. And then if I ever need to make any changes, I would just need to click on this and I can make changes to the corporation. Also, under savings and investments, you'll notice that a default account has been automatically created for the company. And the default account is going to be the cash account for the company. It's the company's liquid account, so money coming into or going out of the business will flow through here. And I am going to start by adding some revenue to this company so we can model the flow of money coming in. I'm going to go to my plus button again and go to income. And I'm going to select other income. Now that we have the company in the plan, the company can now own items in the plan. So I'm going to have the company be the owner of this income. And I'm going to give it a name. Let's say ABC Company Revenue. And you can enter a gross or a net amount here, depending on how you want to model this. Just make sure to adjust the tax status depending on the number that you're entering. So I'm going to enter in a net amount here. So I'll change this to non-taxable. On the timing section, this is going to be how long this income flows into the business. So I'm going to have this income stop when Lily retires. So I'm going to select her retirement event and set that as the end of it and click done. And now if we take a look, we're going to switch over now to the cash flow chart for the company. And you'll notice that that cash flow ends at her retirement and it begins this year. So you can see the money flowing into the company and it grows each year based on the growth rate that we entered. You can also go into year view and see the company revenue in cash flow, and you can see in investments that money contributing into the company. All right. The next thing I wanted to take a look at is other assets that the business can own. So let's go again to our plus button in the bottom right-hand corner, and let's have the business own a property. So I'm going to go to property, and under asset type, I'm going to change this to business, and the owner is again going to be the company. Let me give this a name. And a market value, as well as a purchase value. And one thing to note on business properties is that these properties can also have linked debts, expenses, and income. So for example, if you have a company that has a lot of rental properties and you link incomes to those properties, that income is going to flow into the business. If you link expenses, those expenses are going to be debited from the company's revenues, and same with any debts on these properties, that those debt payments are going to be debited from the revenue of the company. So keep that in mind. If you do need to link any items over here on the left-hand side, those will be appropriately treated against the revenue and expenses of the company. I'm going to click Done to save. And then let's take a look at the cash flow, or excuse me, the assets chart. I'll turn on the details and you'll notice that you can now see property and liquid assets. So you can see both the illiquid and liquid asset values in any given year using the assets chart for the company and turning on the details. And again, if you go into year view and you look at property, you can see that property value, any debts on that property, and the equity at any given time within the plan just by using this slider bar here. You can review that specifically for the company by using the company charts. All right, another thing that a company can own is going to be a insurance policy. So if you go into insurance, let's say, for example, the business owns a policy on Lily. So let's give this a name, business policy on Lily. This is a personal policy. The insured is different than the owner. That is yes, and the company owns the policy on Lily. This is a lump sum benefit type, 1.5 million. The premium is $2,000 annually. The policy is not held in trust. And then over here on beneficiaries, you're going to select the company as the beneficiary. Click Done to save. And again, in year view, you'll be able to see now that the company is the owner of an insurance policy. All right, so the next thing I want to do is start distributing some dividends payments out to Lily from the company. So in order to do that, I'm going to go again to my plus button, go to company, and go to company distribution. I'm going to give this a name, dividend distribution, and we're going to select the distribution source from ABC Company, and we're going to do it for $200,000 annually. Now keep in mind that Lily is a 50% owner of this company, so whatever amount you enter here, Lily will receive 50% of this value. Under timing, I'm going to have this start now and end at Lily's retirement. So that is already defaulting to the correct timing that I want. I'm going to click Done to save. And then I'm going to switch back to Lily's personal cash flow so that I can see this coming into the plan. And you can see in year one, we've got corporate dividends flowing into her personal cash flow, which is what I'm expecting to see. And then those are growing each year. And then they should be ending her year before retirement. And you can again see those in year view, return of capital from ABC Company. And that is exactly what I'm expecting to see. Okay. Next thing I want to show you is modeling the sell of a business. In order to sell the business, we're going to go in here to the company and we're going to do an ownership transfer. We're going to add a transfer. And you do have some different options in here that I want to show you really quickly. You can show the gifting of a business to another member of the family, to a trust, or to a person outside of the plan. You can do it all at once, or you could even do it over multiple years. So be aware that gifting is also an option both to people and to trusts. Now I'm going to switch this over to a sell. And I want to model the sell of this over a period of 5 years. And it's going to automatically default to persons outside the plan. And I want to start the sell of this at retirement. And I'm going to click Done to save. And I click Done again. And so we should see the inflow starting at retirement in her cash flow. You can see that bump up. Those are going to be the inflows from the liquidation of the corporation. And if we go into year view and scroll over to this year, we can see in Lily's cash, we have some large inflows from the liquidation events over these years. And then that ends in the 5th year. Those are going to be sweeping into Lily's cash account. And then also under the corporate tab, if we track back a little bit and open up the company here, you can see her ownership percentage is slowly changing. So if we go back to the year that she retires, you can see 1 year back 50%, then 40%, and then it's slowly changing each year as her ownership is being slowly sold off. So you can track the ownership change over time, and then her ownership will be completely dissolved in that 5th year, which is what we've set it up to be. Now, one quick thing. This money is going to default to just being swept into her cash account, which is a net growth of 1.5%. So if you did want to sweep that money into another account, like for example, this joint investment account, that is fairly simple to do. You can do that by going into these default surplus accounts, opening up Lily's cash, sweep options, and then you could simply sweep it into this joint investment account or any other accounts that she might have in the plan. Click done to save, and then now that money will be swept into an account where it's going to be growing at a higher rate. So we should now see it moving into this joint investment account here. Right, the last thing I wanted to show you is reports. As of right now, the report that we have for businesses specifically that you can run is going to be assets detailed. So if you click on the assets detailed report and go here to the 3 dots, you can configure this report to include the ABC company specifically. So you can run that report specifically to be for the company itself. So just be aware, we do plan on building out the reports for the companies, but at this time you can run an assets detailed report specifically for the company. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at support@planwithvoyant.com. You can also always click on the name of your client here in the top right corner and request support. You can send me a message in this text box and share client access. We can always set up a one-to-one time to walk through a specific client case that you're working on. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. I hope you found it valuable, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you.